It's Jim White, Simon Jordan, Spencer Oliver, live on talkSPORT with Selco Builders Warehouse is where the trade go. So it seems like in boxing, everybody gets along with everybody else these days, even the promoters. Arms round each other, doing deals on stage together, in the ring together. Seems life is great, or is it? Because during last week's weigh-in on stage in Riyadh, there was a little altercation between Queensberry's Frank Warren, who I know is listening, and boxer's Ben Shalom. And Frank opened up as to what happened.
All you got from him all week was, where am I sitting? Am I on the camera side of the TV? In the contracts, sending contracts through, I must be in the middle of the photographs. I don't want Eddie Hearn in a photograph with my fighter. Any interviews with my fighter, I have to be there. I want to guarantee that Eddie, as I mentioned, so what? So we got to stop people taking panoramic photographs. And what is this? This is about the boxers, not about who's going on TV and who's. It's just pathetic. The whole thing was pathetic. And in the end, that's why I turned around and told him the facts of life. And I said, don't do that again, what you did. And he didn't do it with the Fraser Clark fight, or I think it was another one he was involved in. He didn't do it again. And had he done it, I'd have thrown him off the stage. And I don't mean thrown him off the stage. I mean throw him off the stage, because he was just so disrespectful to everybody.
You don't mean throwing him off the stage. You mean like throwing him off the stage. I mean, it happens at a time when Anthony Yard has gone from Queensberry to boxer and Joshua Boazzi, Simon, has gone the other way. So, I mean, there are little backstories going on here. But Shalom's a new kid in the block and he's caused the odd ripple or two, has he not?
Yeah, I mean, Frank will recognise that, won't he? Because he would have seen the same thing being done to him in the 70s by Terry Lawless and Mickey Duff and Jarvis Astaire, and he had to fight his corner. So maybe there's a part of him that respects it. Maybe there's a part of him that isn't. Maybe there is an analness about what Ben requires in his contracts, because anal retentiveness, not analness in terms of looking at someone's bottom. Maybe there is attention to detail that's required, because they are. I mean, Eddie Hearn did try to take the mickey out of Ben in the last fight card. Does constantly drop little bombs in there about Ben Whittaker. You go, I'll see you soon sort of attitude. So Ben does have to protect his position, and whether he's being a little bit too particular about it, they're not going to invite him in, are they? And neither should they have to. He's going to have to punch his way in metaphorically. And if Frank, wants to throw him off the stage with the help of Callis Ireland and wherever he may be in the auditorium, then that's for them to discuss. I think Ben's got to fight his corner, and he's come back and said things in various interviews that I've seen him do. About the experiences that he has with these guys, and they're all big boys. They can all get on with it, can't they?
I'm just thinking, Princess, Frank's actually typing me a message at the moment. You'll need to get a move on with the fingers typing, Frank, because we're off air in a few moments. Does boxing need the odd bust up between the promoters, Spencer?
No other sport is like it. I love it. I actually love it. I love the whole razzmatazz that goes around it, the shenanigans that go on in and around it. I was there actually in Saudi Arabia, and I saw Ben muscling his way into a photo, and Frank, the godfather of boxing right now, going, listen, son, not you, get out of here. I think Frank would have manhandled him and launched him off the stage.
Yeah.
He was pumped up at the time. But I love that. Don't you just love that? It's just all adds to it.
Well, knowing them now as we do, it is all quite amusing. Frank has just messaged me saying he doesn't need help. That's good to know this lunch. I'm not quite sure what kind of help we're talking about.
Callis Ireland.
Oh,
I was referencing that Frank might have needed some help from Callis Ireland.
Nah. All right.
Frank's right. More than capable, mate. Don't worry about that.
If you understand what Frank Warren might have said to Chris Eubank in the green room post Chris Eubank's delightful little assertion on Frank and Eddie, you'll know that Frank doesn't need any help in that department.
No.
But Ben has got to deal with these guys in the way that he sees fit. He's got to run his business. If they don't like it, who cares? I'm sure he doesn't like a lot about what they do. It's about finding your way into the industry and being good enough to be there. And if Ben Shalom's good enough to be there, he'll be there. If he's not, they'll kill him in the cradle.
Me, don't you shove me that way. I'll throw you off the set. You don't get anything like that in football, or do you?
No, but you do get stuff in boardrooms that necessarily, because you're competing, it's different dynamic, different sports, different sort of environments.
Yeah. Who was it? The Bristol City chairman threw a teapot at you?
No, I threw one at him.
Oh, you're right.
It wasn't
okay.
a teapot, it was a cup of coffee.
Oh, coffee, okay. All right.
Did you hit him?
All right. But the fact of the matter is everybody else is getting on these days, and that's wonderful. In the sport of boxing, Fraser Clark, if you're listening to this lunchtime, send you my best, my friend. It was good of you to speak to us on this show. Spencer, we thank you.
Thank you.
I shall speak to you very soon. You're off out to Spain, are you not? You're going for some sunshine.
I am. Yes.
Are you when you're out there? Will you sing the Spanish anthem, or will you give that one a bye?
If I get offered the Spanish manager's job, yeah.
Good answer. 1 o'clock.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.